I was living at Dallas Life Shelter, and I met Mr. Shanahan, Ruth and Ralph Shanahan. I met them, I remember that yesterday. It was November 16, 2006. And I rededicated my life to the Lord. And that's when I began going to First Baptist Dallas. When I found out I was pregnant, I was extremely convicted and embarrassed. I wasn't married. And I was going to church, and I just felt bad because that's not what God wants of me. And I was just ashamed. I confirmed my pregnancy with a doctor's appointment in Arlington, Texas. The doctor told me that I should not have my baby because of my age. He was probably going to be Down syndrome. He basically used the possibility of that happening with probabilities like he was gambling. And I was just really shocked. I was like, I don't know the word to say how I felt after I left the doctor's office, but I ran out of there and I never went back. I did not confide in anybody about my pregnancy because, again, I was ashamed and scared. And what I was going to do, I didn't know. But when I hadn't come to church a couple of Sundays, Miss Ruth Shanahan, she said, "What's going on? You come every Sunday." And I think she knew, like, I just felt like I could share with her why I wasn't coming. I was going to Wednesday night class, and she said she would like to share with me a place for the Women's Center. It's right across the street, and that they would take really good care of me. And she went to Wednesday night class, and I went to the Women's Center, and she introduced me to the ladies there. When I walked in there, I actually was really obviously still scared because I didn't know what to expect. Again, like how other people were going to think about me and like what my position was, being pregnant, no father, and now you don't know if you're going to keep your baby and what's going to happen. I was still really scared and ashamed. Once I was there and met the ladies, I felt like I was in a safe place, and I felt like, I mean, these people didn't know me, but I felt like they cared about me, and it was really nice because I didn't have that. The services that I received when I came to the Women's Center were amazing. Most of all, above everything, was the love that I felt when you walked in that door from the women, from the people behind the front desk, from the medical people there who were checking up on you and the baby. They had a store in there too. And as you went to classes and learned about the baby and how to take care of it, it was just like going to a department store and just, going shopping in there. They had everything in there. Yes, I did have a sonogram, and it was beautiful. I remember that I cried because I got to listen to the baby, and it was just different from when I listened to the sonogram versus being with the doctor. I felt just so ashamed there, but when I came into the Women's Center, it was beautiful because it was just the difference it makes when somebody is helping you and come alongside of you. Absolutely, it helped me make a different decision because I felt like somebody was on my side and that I wasn't alone. There was just a group of women that just surrounded me with love. There was no judgment. They just were like, "How can we help you? What do you want to do?" And I was like, "I want to keep my baby," but the doctor said that it was going to be, with Down syndrome and that it wasn't going to be good for me. And they're like, "What do you want?" And then when I said I wanted to keep my baby, then they said, "We're going to help you do that." And that's exactly what they did. I remember when he was born and they put him on my chest after he was born. I was like, wow, this is amazing. He was just so beautiful. His hair and his eyes was so blue, and he was so precious. Today, my son is about to be 17 years old, and he's in high school. He'll be graduating early. He's an honor student, AB student. He's in the wrestling team as well as the ROTC. My most favorite thing about my son is every day He probably tells me, and this is no joke, he tells me 100 times a day, I love you, Mom. And I'm just like, you just told me that, but he just doesn't care. He tells me, Mom, I love you. Like everything is, I love you, Mom. And I love that. My advice to a woman in a similar situation would be to just be encouraged that there is help, there is hope, and fear has no place in you wanting to keep your baby, because there's people and organizations like the Women's Center that are there just for the very thing that you're not alone and there is help out there for you.